Creative imagination began with a new art form. Makes me feel I belong to something.
Hello everyone, welcome to another stream. I mean, 2 streams. One last week and one this week. Could we actually start making a habit of streaming again? Who knows? Excuse me. Anyway, a warm welcome to the stream. Welcome back. I hope you're well, I hope you're fantastic and all that fantastically good stuff. Now, last stream on DCS we practiced some aerobatic practice with the flanker, but today we're going to be doing some carrier operations with the F-18C, the beautiful and amazing Hornet. Now we're going to be taking off from the aircraft carrier and then we're going to be doing some low level flying, heading towards Batumi Air Base and flying as low as we possibly can. Now I am still quite a bit of a noob when it comes to the Hornet, but we will be doing a cold and dark startup and we will make our way onto the catapult on the aircraft carrier, which is going to launch us into the sky. So without further ado, let's jump into DCS. And I need to change the screen so you can actually see the game, and there we go, look at that. So now you can see what I see. This is very handy. Very, very handy indeed. So, we're in the Hornet, we're on the aircraft carrier. As you can see, nothing's running, the engines aren't running. It's basically cold and dark, as if a pilot had just jumped into the jet. Helicopter there, and if we take a look outside, here's where we are on this beautiful aircraft carrier. 4 catapults, as you can see, a selection of Hornets, an E2C Hawkeye over there as well, and a few other Hornets, and of course the trap wires, which we will be attempting a carrier landing at the end of the flight. But without further ado, now I won't be able to see chat just yet because I'm going to reference my checklist, which I have on my phone. Yeah, I don't actually have this to hand yet, so bear with me whilst we go through a quick checklist, because we need to get this jet up and running, we need to get it configured for flight, and we need to make sure that all the systems are up and running and we can get into the air. So first thing we're going to do is check these fuses are in. Everything looks good across here. We're going to switch on the battery, which is over here, with a right click, and we're going to do our engine fire test circuit.
Engine fire left. Engine fire left. Engine fire right. Engine fire right. APU fire. APU fire. Bleed air left. Bleed air left. Bleed air right. Bleed air right.
So that test is complete. We're going to cycle the power, switch the battery back off again, switch it back on, and we're going to wait a few seconds, then we will test the fire circuit B. Same switch, just in the other direction.
Engine fire left. Engine fire left. Engine fire right. Engine fire right. APU fire. APU fire. Bleed air left. Bleed air left. Bleed air right. Bleed air right.
There we go, and the check is completed. Now with Trackir, I would actually be able to look at the buttons up here to make sure the lights are working, but that's something that's in the pipeline. Now what we're going to do is activate the aircraft's onboard APU, which is the auxiliary power unit. We're going to switch this on here. You will hear that fire up. Now once we have the green light, which is just here, we're going to engage the right engine starter, which is the engine crank just below the APU switch, right here. And I usually wait till it's about 20% RPM, which you can now see on this gauge here. And we're going to move that right throttle out of idle forward. And you're going to hear that right engine spool up. You've got to make sure the exhaust temperature does not go above 700 degrees. So there we go, 526. You'll hear a few deedles and noises.
Roll left, roll left. Flight controls. Flight controls.
So there we go then, that's our right engine up and running. What we're going to do is rotate the bleed air switch over here 360 degrees. And to keep out some of the noise, I'm going to close the canopy just now. That'll make things a bit quieter in here. So now with the canopy closed, the bleed air switch has been rotated 360 degrees. We can now turn on our digital displays, which are here. A little bit of scrolling. Pardon me. Did I turn on my HUD? I do need to turn up the brightness of the HUD, obviously. That's one thing I almost forgot there. So now we have power to the DDI screens, the HUD, and the moving map. Now we're going to go to the flight controls page, which is over here. Menu, if I can remember how to get there. Why cannot remember how to get to the FCS page? It's been a while since I've actually done this. Because it's already on that page. Ah, there we go. I'm almost forgetting how to do this. It's been a while since I've actually done this. Now we're going to reset our master caution to stack our errors. And we're going to do a quick check of the warning lights down here, which is just here. Make sure all that is fine and dandy. Now the warning lights are checked, we're going to switch the INS to ground position, which is over there. And now what we're going to do is fire up that left engine. So we're going to engage the left engine starter. And you'll hear a little deedle. Once again, waiting for 20% RPM to move that left throttle forward. And once again, the throttle set exactly the same. And now we just wait for our left engine spooling. And there we go. nowhere near 700, we are absolutely fine. So now with the left engine started, we can go ahead and reset the FCS button, which is right here. And let's have a quick look at the FCS page on the right DDI. I will press the Y key to hold it. And we're going to do a quick test of the controls. Now if I go outside, you'll see the aircraft perform this test. There we go, and as you can see, 4 goes on the right FCS page. So now what we're going to do is set our flaps to the auto position. The noise you just heard is the APU switching off. Switches off itself, you don't have to do anything. We're going to switch our INS switch to nav, and our rainbow? Our radar to standby. We're going to arm our ejection seat and tighten our harnesses. Also, whilst we're over here, we're going to switch on our landing light. And I'm going to leave the parking brake on for now. So what we'll do is we'll just switch this to the HUD screen. The menu. That'll be our radar screen. The radar is not active at the moment, obviously, so there's no scanning here. Now our wings are still in the locked position, which we will leave there at the moment because we don't want to unfold them and hit any other aircraft. But what we will request is that the ground crew remove the wheel chocks that are holding us in place. So we're going to do that now.
Chief, remove the wheel.
Which you will see disappear in a second. There they go. So we are now free to maneuver. And we're going to go ahead and position ourselves towards the catapult. Nose wheel steering is on, as you can see by the NWS writing on our HUD, which means we can move around and turn. And we also have a high setting, which is very, very helpful for carrier. So I'm going to go ahead and switch off the parking brake, and we are going to go ahead and maneuver ourselves towards the catapult. And we're going to get hooked up. So as we slowly increase the throttle onto high nose wheel steering. Once we get a little bit closer, just gonna slightly maneuver the aircraft to there. There we go. Now what we're going to do is extend our launch bar, which is there, which you will see here. Now I'm just going to slowly move forward a little bit. There we go, being pulled towards the launch bar now, which is going to engage us on the catapult. And we are hooked in, the ramp is up. We can now unlock our wings and we will set our takeoff position. You can see our wings coming down now. Let's check the other side, there we go. I will open up chat again in a second. Now that our wings are folded, we can push the lever forward and lock them in that position, and with a little press of a button over here we will set our takeoff trim. So she's all set for takeoff. We're hooked up with the catapult. Let me just open the stream once again. Yonep, how you doing, bud? Yeah, no shooting any cannons on the ground today. So now we're going to set our flaps to full, and I'm going to do a quick check of our flight controls. We are good, we are good. So without further ado, let us go full afterburner and let us get this baby in the air. Let's go flying. And we are up. Gear up. We are in the air. We are good. Flaps up. Build the speed. Absolutely beautiful. Goodbye, carrier. I hope to be landing on you again later on. Absolutely beautiful. So we're going to be doing some low level flying. Oh, I haven't changed the game tag thing to DCS World. Lol. Got an absolutely beautiful day for flying. This is also just one of the instant action missions where you can set, where you can just basically jump into a mission, cold and dark, take off from the carrier. Absolutely love just being able to jump in. So if we take a quick look at the map, you'll see we're flying in this general direction. We're going to head towards Batumi Air Base. I'm quite familiar with this area of the map. We haven't set up any waypoints in the Hornet because I don't know how to do that yet. That's something I will learn. We're fine just sitting about 5,000 feet, just to let the aircraft climb a little bit. So whilst I'm doing that, hopefully I should be able to quickly tab out. Gaming, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. What a noob! Digital Combat Simulator World. There we go. Your settings were not saved. Your changes are being saved. There we go. It should now say the right game. Now there's no other enemy aircraft in the area to worry about, but we will switch our radar to operational, which you'll see start beginning a sweep. 140 degrees is how wide the radar is scanning in front of the aircraft. So it's making a sweep from left to right with a maximum spread of 140 degrees. Got a full load of fuel, so we're going to be able to do some fast burner action, and I think we even have an AI wingman somewhere. I think that could be him. I'm not sure. I'm looking for him. Every time I play DCS I realise how much I need to clean my monitor. There's all these tiny little black spots that make me think it's another jet. And it's not my wing. There he is, here he comes. Hey friend. So yeah, once I have Trackir, it's going to be so much easier to fly and look around without having to use a mouse or without having to use the little view thing on the joystick, and I can map that to something else. But it's great to be back in the Hornet. I absolutely love flying this jet. And I'm looking forward to learning it some more. Actually spending some time over the next couple of weeks learning some more of the systems. Learning to actually use the radar properly would be pretty sweet. Now I think we're coming close to Batumi. I always recognise it by this part here. Batumi Air Force Base is just to the left hand side, which you can see there. And we're going to be cutting down into that waterway. And we're going to fly under the bridge as well. So as we fly just over the top of this beautiful cloud. I'll back off the throttle a little bit. There's our wingman over there. Good old AI wingman. I haven't set our bingo fuel or anything like that. We have all that fuel right there, which is beautiful. Not flying too high, so we don't have to worry about any anti-ice measures or anything at the moment, which is good. It's pretty good.
Altitude. Altitude.
Yes, yes, plenty altitude. Don't you worry, flight computer. We have much altitude. And we're not going to have too much once we drop under this bridge as well. obviously once the F14 is released for DCS, Navy operations are going to become absolutely amazing. And by that point I hope to have like plenty of knowledge and enough experience to be flying with other people. There's our AI teammate. He's our wingman. It'll just be awesome to have carriers with Hornets and Tomcats. And Heatblur's also releasing the A6 Intruder as an AI variant as well for DCS. So we're going to back off the throttle as we start to head lower and lower. We're going to drop under 1,000 feet. And we're going to go low level flying in the mountains. Now this is the Steam edition of DCS. Once my new hard drive is installed, I'm going to be downloading the standalone version of DCS. And I'll be running that straight off my SSD. So the Tomcat will be installed on an SSD. But unfortunately, not the other Persian Gulf map, which is a bit unfortunate. So I'm just going to back off the throttle a little bit.
Pull up, pull up.
Yes, yes, don't you worry. Under the bridge we go. A little pull back on the stick, and here we go. Let the flight begin. I go right of these trees.
Pull up, pull up.
Still staying quite low. Gaining a little bit of altitude now. Batumi Air Base is just off to our left. Not anticipating any troubles with the flight, but if we do get into any troubles, then we do have an air base we can land at and get repaired. Anyway, let's head into the valleys. Let's take the Hornet for some low level flying. Backing off on that throttle just a little bit. Trying to follow the river line a little bit. Pulling hard left, pulling hard right. Oh yes. Into the valley we go. A little bit more throttle and we're going to duck under these power lines.
Pull up, pull up.
Yes we are, there we go. One set. Second set, pulling hard on the stick, up and over the second set? Up and over the next set, and we're going to brake hard left here. If you were on that road, that would have looked quite spectacular, to be honest. We head back low, heading towards another valley. Blasting across the road.
Roll right, roll right.
Banked a little bit too hard there, but it's okay. It's all good. We're going to continue to follow this path. Banking the aircraft hard, turning the aircraft hard as we swoop over the trees, and just a little bit more throttle. Once again heading left, heading right, banking the aircraft. Just going to back off on the throttle because we're picking up some speed here. I don't want to go too fast. We're going to head up and over to the right, gaining some height. Our wingman just flew over the top there. We're going to continue into this valley. A lot of trees, so we do have to be careful here. The Hornet is a small and agile jet. And an absolutely amazing jet to see and hear in person. See the shadow as we continue to skim across the treetops. Pulling a gentle roll, a little bit pull on the stick, not too hard. Sometimes it's nice just to take an instant action flight, jump straight into DCS, and just enjoy flying. Once again, heading up and over the treetops. We're going to back off on the throttle a little bit. Hear the engine spool down a little bit as we ease off the throttle. Pulling hard once again. Getting a little bit close to the trees there. It's all good though. And we're just going to pull back up to the left hand side. Easing back on the throttle. Starting to lose a little bit of momentum there and speed. Now we're heading towards a mountain. We're going to pop up and over this mountain. Afterburners engaged. Let's look at a flyby. She sounds gorgeous. Disengaging the afterburners, pulling back on the throttle. Climbing for some height. We're already past 9,000 feet. Look at that view. Absolutely beautiful. Now you can see the valley just to our left here that we're about to come in line with. We're going to head nice and low and cut right through that valley in a second. Let's do it then. Let's turn and burn. Full afterburner, we're going to head towards the ground. A vast rate of knots. Disengaging the afterburner then. Throttle back.
Altitude. Altitude.
Ordering on the speed of sound here. You can see the M on our HUD. Once that hits 1.0, you're travelling at the speed of sound. So we're going to ease right back on the throttle. Just let the aircraft sweep in. Let's try and stay low over the treetops again. Obviously watching out for the pylons. You don't want to hit a pylon, that will severely ruin your day. Gonna crank hard here and then crank hard again. Pushing the throttle back forward, dipping down low. We're going to skim over these treetops. Let's try not to hit the treetops, so that was a little bit close. Banking hard to the left. Now let's go full burner as we go low through this valley. Speed building. You do get a real sense of speed when you start doing some low level flying. This is one thing I love about DCS. There we go. Approaching the speed of sound once again. We're going to back off on the throttle. We're just going to gently pull on the stick as the aircraft banks to the left. Shadow. Once again. Nope, not the pylon, thank you very much. Coming back down towards the water.
Roll right, roll right. Pull up, pull up.
Got a little bit too close to the water there for comfort, and we shoot out of the valley. Look at that, there's Batumi Air Base. So if you follow that track to the right hand side of Batumi, you can basically do an entire loop if you cut left, where all the trees sort of, where it becomes really crowded with trees and you can see the mountain. Basically means if you turn left from there and fly back, if you follow that valley that we've just taken, it'll take you right back to Batumi Air Base. and it's a circuit I absolutely love flying. Now we're not going to be landing here obviously, because we want to practice some carrier landings, and we have plenty of fuel, as you can see here, £95,000, which is just beautiful. So let's take a look outside the jet then. Sometimes I just love listening to that flyby. And then there's our little AI wingman. Now we're going to head back towards the carrier to hopefully nail some landings. I have been, the last time I did play with the Hornet, we did practice some carrier landings. So you can see the blue F is us, and the carrier is over here in this area. So we're going to go full afterburner. We're going to catch up to this beautiful aircraft carrier. We're going to try and put our aircraft back on the deck. Because what good is flying a naval aircraft if you can't land it on a naval ship? Here's the speed building. Full afterburner. Just beautiful. There we go, we have hit Mach 1, which you can see on our HUD there. We are travelling faster than the speed of sound. And we are burning fuel at a vast rate of knots as well. So I'm going to pull back on the throttle. The only weapons we do have on board are the 2 missiles. And I am aware that obviously landing with this high level of fuel isn't really recommended, but we're going to put the burners on and we're going to go back. We're just going to leave the burners on to burn off some of that fuel. But if you do think you are going to be landing heavy, I don't know the calculations for it. This switch here that you can see right beside the exterior tanks, you can dump fuel by flicking that switch. You can also jettison weapons by selecting the station select of which weapon you want to disengage, and then you push the jettison button and that will release any weapons on board on any particular stations that you have inserted? Oh yeah, inserted, fitted. So we're going to start making our turn towards the aircraft carrier. Still quite a bit in the distance. The storage is 500 gigabyte net. The 250 gigabyte one, when I'm recording stuff, it just gets full so quick and I have to move it to my mechanical drive.
Altitude.
Which is a pain for editing on. It really is. Let's check our map again. Not too far away, we should be able to see the carrier soon. Hopefully we don't screw up this landing. I will go past the carrier and then we will go for an approach. Basically like how you would land at an airfield. You would do your downwind leg, your final leg, etc, etc. And just coming into view, I can see the ships. So we're going to start to back off our throttle. And we're going to get low, low, low. We're not going to be landing just yet, we will perform a circuit. We are going to deploy our air brake. If you do hear the rush of wind, we're just deploying the air brake to bleed some speed. And you can see the biggest ship coming into view is the aircraft carrier. Air brake is back in. We've backed off on the throttle as well. I heard that sound travels at about 12 kilometers per second through Diamond. Oh. There's one of the ship. Well, one of the ships, not one of the ship. Throttling back up, and there's our aircraft carrier that we're going to be putting the jet back down on. It took me 13 attempts to finally get one of these landings nailed the first time I started practicing the carrier landings. And I haven't done too many since. I've been flying the flanker a lot lately, trying some aerobatic displays and some crazy stuff with that jet. But it's great to jump in the Hornet and just start. You feel that level of realism. Anyway, we're going to throttle up. And we are going to make our turn. Not into the sea, of course. This is the problem with using the joystick switch to move around, well, to look around, and using a mouse. So we're keeping this about 600 feet. We're going to move just slightly to the right. Pull back on the throttle as well. Let me back off on the throttle a little bit more. And let's try. Just going to use the throttle to manage our speed as we turn back round towards the carrier. 250. Yeah, just starting to pick up speed a bit too much there. There we go. Throttle to idle for now. We're going to go flaps down, gear down, hook down. Once our speed comes down a little bit more, we'll go flaps full. I do want to try and bring the nose up a little bit here. Or bring the nose down towards the edge of the boat. Now I'm going to manage that throttle. I realise this is not the best of approaches, but we're going to start managing that throttle now. Trying to straighten up with the deck. I don't think we're going to make this one. I think I'm coming in a bit too quick. At this point you'd be getting waved off. No way is that caught a wire. That was not a smooth approach at all. Which wire did we catch? The first wire? No way. Yeah, that's probably like one of the worst carrier landings I've made. But I did not expect that to catch that wire at all. Dangerously close to the edge there. Now what we want to do is try and improve on that. So as we move over here, I'm going to make sure we don't clip this other Hornet. We're going to just tap the brakes a little bit. And because of the amount of fuel we've got on board, we can go again. I'm going to retract the hook. And we're going to head towards catapult once again. I don't think that's really very much centered, but we will extend the launch bar. We'll leave our flaps on full. Yeah, that's probably one of the worst carrier landings I've ever actually made, to be honest. Didn't go as smooth as I would have liked. I think the AI teammate distracted me a little bit. It's going to pull me forward from there, and we're going to get attached to the launch bar. And once again, the shield will come up at the back. And we are ready to take off once again. So let's see how this looks from the outside cam. Full afterburner. Let's rock and roll. Up into the air, flaps up, gear up. Master caution, check trim, don't worry about that, it's all grand. Our wingman's going to try and rejoin us again. Pulling hard. Honestly, the manoeuvrability of this thing is just incredible. Let's do a flyover of the ship then. Fast and low. Time to buzz the tower. Woo! Hey! Speed and the acceleration of this thing is just crazy. It looks awesome with the wing vapors as well. Rolling over. Oh yes. Honestly, you can have so much fun with this jet. I'm just going to throttle back up because we're about to stall out. There we go. So, shall we try another carrier landing then? And let's try and make it better than the last one. Going to throttle back a little bit as we control our descent. Even going to deploy the air brake. Big flap on the back of the jet there. Increasing the drag, giving us that extra braking. Whoop, that's the wrong button. That's the wrong button. Looking for the aircraft carrier. I appear to have lost it. But anyway, we're going to bank round. We will find it, don't worry. Pulling 4 Gs in that turn there. Where's the aircraft carrier gone? I've genuinely lost it. Have I managed to lose the aircraft carrier? Ah! It's over that way. LOL. This is what happens when you don't know how to set up your waypoints and stuff. Or your navigation system that lets you find the boat again. Which is something I definitely have to start practicing as well. So, anyway. Let us get ready for another attempt at this carrier landing. Just going to keep the throttle quite low, because we are going to bring down our flaps and our gear very shortly, as we try and go for a much more controlled approach than what that last one was. I done it better landing mouse and keyboard with the SU-33. So yeah, definitely not happy at all with that. Anyway, let's lower our landing gear, let's lower the hook, and let's lower the flaps as we start to our turn towards the carrier again. See the aircraft wanted to raise its nose. Just going to trim that out a little bit. Let's try and have a much more controlled descent. Now this is much smoother. We just need to try and manage our speed and then manage the descent towards the carrier, because we want to be much more controlled this time. Constantly moving the throttle back and forward. Now we are a little bit high at the moment, but I'm not too worried about that. Just going to manage that throttle, watching the green of the carrier. I want to dip down a little bit more before I start to bring the nose back up. There we go. Let's get that nose down and get the descent down. Starting to bring the nose back up and then trying to manage the throttle. And my nose still isn't high enough, but that's okay at the moment. least it feels okay at the moment. Now we're going to start managing that power, pulling the nose back up. You see our angle of attack indicator there. I think I might have screwed this one up. Yeah, that's not on the deck. Full afterburner. You always go full afterburner when you land, in case you miss the wire. Our approach was good there, but I killed the throttle too much at the end. I definitely need to manage the throttle a bit better. Now, what I'm going to try and do here is...
Flight, RTB.
see if I can get my wingman to land and get him out of here. So that wasn't a good landing at all. We got on the deck, but we didn't hit the wire. I didn't control the descent at the final stage well enough. Still trying to bring that nose back up. The thing I try so hard not to do is movements with the stick to control the angle of your nose. You control your descent with the throttle, not with the stick. So anyway, flaps are set to full. We should get our flaps down in a second. I am a little bit fast at the moment, but there we go. Flaps are now full. Just going to continue on this angle at the moment. I'm going to trim the jet just a little bit, because she wants to go high, which is the natural reaction for the flaps. It wants to pull the nose up, which is what we want for landing. I'm way off here. It's okay if we can control this. Just hold it. We can recover this. There we go. AOA is on. A little bit left. We're about to getting that stall warning. Now we're waving that one off. Full afterburner, flaps up, gear up. It's so difficult. I don't know if it's just because I'm streaming or I can usually get these down quite well, even with dodgy approaches. Let's not build up too much speed this time. Forgot how ugly the YouTube was. YouTube. Right, let's take a little bit of a longer approach this time. And just try and... I was way off on my angle there, and I think that I put myself off by... not focusing on the actual descent. And then at the end I just lost too much power trying to manage it. But this time, gear down, hook down, full flaps, and let's control our descent. So once again, I feel like my approaches are good, but the final section of the landing I really fail at sometimes. Just trying to trim that nose a little bit. Also trying not to drop out the sky. I want to try and get that speed up a little bit. I want to get the nose up a little bit as well. You're managing your throttle, you're managing the stick. And I still want to get my nose higher, so I want to drop down some height. Let's try and bring that nose up a little bit. Decrease the throttle. Bring bring the throttle back up. Still trying to get that nose higher. Still a little bit high. I'm going to reduce the power. Oh, you bugger! I can't believe it! I didn't see my wingman! I can't believe it is! My best approach and my best landing! I crashed into my wingman! Who'd already landed? I didn't see him until I was touching down on the deck! Oh, that was like my best approach and my best landing, and I even caught the wire. I didn't even get the chance to see which wire I caught. Oh my god, I am such a noob. I am such a noob. Let's have a look. Oh, that's not going well. That's not going well at all. And I think the puncture is the the least of the worries right now for this. I don't know if that was me. No, it wasn't me. I wasn't VF34. I wasn't that squadron. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's try. I gotta quit that one. But it's okay, we can do an instant action. And this time we'll go into the Persian Gulf and we shall take off. We won't do a cold and dark takeoff. We'll just do instant action, ready to take off on the catapult. Oh. I still can't believe I done that. I legit still can't believe I just done. Ah. I'm quite gobsmacked at myself. Best Navy pilot ever. I should change the thumbnail from carrier operations to noob operations. Anyway, let's try and move on from that. Don't know if I ever can, but we'll give it a go. I was going so well. Like, we had our descent, we were controlling our descent, we were managing the throttle, we had the stick in the right position, we had the aircraft trimmed. It was descending so nice. And we were on center towards the runway. And we caught the wire. I don't even know which wire we caught, if it was 1, 2, 3 or 4. I think it might have been a 2 or a 3. Oh, and then what's waiting on the runway? What's right on the deck? Our teammate that we told to land. Yeah, GG Neff. Ah, the one approach that I get right, and that happens. Try to take off at the chopper in the middle of a jungle. Yeah, that's never advised in wildlands. But yeah, let's go for a flight across the Persian Gulf now. Switch maps. You can see just how long it takes to load when you do have this game on a mechanical drive. But the unfortunate thing is the Hornet and the Persian Gulf map can't be transferred onto the standalone game. So as if by magic, we're now in the Persian Gulf. Hey friend. And we're all set, ready to take off. Everything is set. Make sure our takeoff trim's set. Let's go full flaps. Check trim. I've just set my takeoff trim. I just pressed the button. Okay, well, let's forget about it. Let's get in the air. Full afterburner. Catapult. We're off. Gear up. Flaps up. That was a little bit of a sharp turn. Down, down, down. Hey friends! Whoop. And we do have full fuel on board once again. We do have munitions on board. So, like I was saying earlier, left, out, right, out, we're going to jettison them.
Flight controls.
Why you tell me flight controls? Yo! We're good. Right. So where are we on the map? Okay, let's head towards Dubai. Yeah, sorry. I don't understand why it's so warm at the moment, Nep. Like, even here, it was really warm today. It's like October. So we do have a couple of missiles on board, which we can select and fire if any aircraft should cross our path. But yeah, actually, which just reminded me about the whole incident with the F-16 in Belgium. If you want to fire a weapon inside an aircraft, you have to select that weapon, which is what I just done. I selected these Sidewinder missiles. And then you have this master arm switch, which is right here. I don't know if my cursor's actually showing up in OBS, I'm not 100% sure. But I'll zoom right in on it just in case. That's the master arm switch right there. You have to have that button switched on in order to deploy any weapons. That button has to be physically switched to the arm position, and the cannon has to be selected. So it's really strange that an incident like that could happen. And we'll just start turning a little bit to the right. We will fly over the beautiful islands. Honestly, the map design in this Persian Gulf map is absolutely, it's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. We have a jet over there. I don't think we have any behind us there. We're just cruising along 4,000 feet. Let's build up some speed and let's build up some altitude. We'll just start a steady climb to probably about 15,000 feet. Let us enjoy some of these beautiful sights in the Persian Gulf. We're going to fly through a cloud. There's the other jets there. 1, 2, and I think 3 just in the distance there as well. Continuing that climb. We'll take a chilled out flight now. I think we all need to recover from that accident. I feel quite shaken. I'm all shook up. Oh, 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 I'm all shook up. Oh, oh. Into the cloud we shall go. We're not using too much throttle here, so I am going to level out a bit because we're going to stall. I don't want to stall. There we go. Continuing a gentle climb. It was a technician though, might have done a short circuit while checking the wiring. Yeah, true. I didn't think about that. I just think it's crazy that you could deploy to fire a cannon on the ground. It's just insane. I really do want to follow the investigation of that. Our fuel is fine, we're not using too much. The jet's going to build back up some speed. We're just going to keep steadily climbing. I'm actually dropping. I need to trim. Should be flying pretty much straight level at the moment. I've actually got my trim set on the wrong switch. I need to set it to the higher on my Saitek. Let's just take a little look around. All we, at the moment we can see is sea, but see our fellow AI jets. I love the shadows of the clouds below as well. Like just the general sort of atmosphere that you get from this map. It's a beautiful place to fly. It was during maintenance of the plane. Ah, okay. So maybe something has gone wrong during the maintenance. I thought at first when I first read it, it might have been someone just goofing around in the cockpit, like just pressing the trigger, like, ah, look at me guys, take a photo, I'll post it on my Facebook, that kind of thing. But yeah, if it was during like actual maintenance and that's happened, it's pretty lucky that no one was seriously hurt. Passing through the clouds then. We're going to continue climbing here. Get some altitude. And then we will probably, after we do a little sort of, a little pass through Dubai, take a look at the scenery, I probably will land at Dubai and then we'll call it there. But we will enjoy this flight nonetheless. Gonna keep looking around and enjoying these views. Like, DCS is obviously primarily a combat simulator. Like, the realism that goes into the weapon systems and the radar and all that kind of technology it's mind-blowing really, like the amount of effort that people put in, developers, coders, everyone at Eagle Dynamics does an amazing job with this game. But sometimes it's just really nice just to jump in something that you really want to fly and basically have this level of detail and authenticity, but without having to worry about actually like maneuvering away from someone that's trying to shoot you down, or from a missile that's just come in from God knows where. But that being said, I am looking forward to, like I've said before, like learning the actual radar, learning the weapon systems. Anyway, let's push up the throttles a little bit. Let's not go full afterburner. Inlet ice, okie dokie. It's fine, don't you worry, we can sort that out. It's pretty cold up here. We don't want our inlets icing up. We're going to switch on that heat. A little bit of a stutter there. But yeah, I mean, just looking around, it just looks so nice. I say this to myself so often, like just even general flying, like the actual detail and how nice it looks when you get some altitude and just look across the map. It's just beautiful. Let's have a quick look at the map. So Dubai is over here, and we do have the Palm Islands here, so we're on course. I'm gonna turn a little bit. Still been climbing a little bit, but it's all good. It is all good. Obviously visibility is absolutely fantastic as well. Let's drop some height. Let's drop back down to 15,000. And just off in the distance there we will start to see the islands, which you can see. There's Dubai. We're going to take a flight right over there. Let's switch on the burners then, let's build some speed. And let's get towards there. The rumble of all the other jets as well, which is quite awesome. That little puff of black smoke that it leaves in the air after you disengage the afterburners. It honestly, it's like little details that it makes all the difference. I just wanted to switch on the burners to get us a little bit closer, so we can do our flight over this massive expansive land. See, we're not too far out now, which is good. How's our fuel? We're not too bad. We're not too bad at all. We'll be okay to do our flight round here. I think I jettisoned my center tank as well, but I only wanted to disengage my left inner and right inner tanks. I don't think I had my center tank selected. But I'm not sure if I had one fitted. I can't actually remember about the instant action. Anyway, we've got the fuel for it. It doesn't matter. We're going to enjoy some stunning scenery. It's usually like flights like these where you'd put on your favourite chilled music playlist, or your favourite music that you just like to chill out and listen to from time to time. That is Dubai International there with the two runways. Starting to see the high-rise buildings. The islands over here and over there. So we're going to be descending soon. Well, I say soon, pretty quickly to be honest. I'm just going to back off on the throttle as we head lower, lose some height. I mean, you just get a sense of scale from up here. Those beautiful islands in the distance, and that amazingly tall spire right there. We're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna have some fun. So that's enough chilled flying, full throttle, afterburners. Let's get on down there. We've enjoyed a nice relaxed flight over here. Now this is where the frame rate might drop a little bit, because you do have all these buildings. I'll back off on the throttle now. We fly towards the spire. I actually can't remember the name of it. Is the hotel called the Burj Al Arab, which is off to the left, just passing our canopy there. But it's okay. Backing off on the throttle. We're even going to deploy our air brake now. And this just looks absolutely beautiful. Pull that air brake back in. You can even see the cars and the traffic, which is just amazing. Let's try and not crash into any buildings. See the frame rate taking a bit of a dive there. Turning up towards the spire. Oh yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, don't you worry, plane, don't you worry. I mean, just look at this scenery. We're gonna get some throttle here, or are we gonna have an accident? And accidents are never good. Using that rudder. Gonna dip down and round. Banking hard. Once again above the traffic on the road. I mean, just look at the level of detail that's gone into this. Full afterburner, let's go down towards the islands then. The frame rate really does take a dive here. You have to be quite high in order for this not to take a dive. Skimming past. We're going to head past the amazing hotel now. Team deploy our air brake and slow down. I mean, just look at this. And on our right hand side is one of the Palm Islands. It really just looks so good, like the water as well. See if we can have some fun. See how manoeuvrable the little Hornet is as you turn in. She turns so beautifully. Down towards the ground. Flying between the buildings. Let's go full afterburner. Here we go then. And the question is, can you fly this through here? I think you can. I definitely think you can. Let's go for it. See those amazing vapor effects? That was pretty special, to be honest. I've never actually done that before. Ah, this just looks so nice. Let's take a flight over the other Palm Island as well then. I was sure that you could fly through there, and now I know you can. I think I might have seen it in the Persian Gulf trailer, or someone that made a trailer about the Persian Gulf map. I can't remember 100%, but that would be pretty sweet to make something into a video. I mean, it honestly, it's so good. It's so nice. We've got this Palm Island mirror. The fact that this is man-made as well. Pull out for a exterior view again then. Drop back into the cockpit and let's head towards the main road. Gonna back off on the throttle. See the frame rate just dipping down a little bit again. We're heading down low.
Pull up, pull up.
Yes, yes.
Roll right, roll right.
See the monorail system as well, which is quite cool. I mean, I know the frame rate does take a dip, but to be honest, you just have to look at some of the attention to detail that's gone into even like the buildings. The fact that they can be so different from each other. It's not just like they've went and got a lot of buildings and just copy pasted that kind of thing. It really does look absolutely spectacular. Now we're going to get some altitude, we're going to climb. We're going to have one more look over here. Just look at that, it's beautiful. Honestly, it really is so beautiful. I mean, that to me looks... it's so nice, so nice. I have an idea though. Let's head towards the deck before we go and prepare for our landing.
Altitude.
We are full afterburner.
Altitude.
We are breaking the speed of sound. Mach 1.9 on the HUD, 1.1. Backing off on the throttle now. We're going to go up. You're going to see the vapor effects on the wing. We pull hard and up and over the top. Look at that, amazing.
Altitude. Altitude.
Again, we're going to pull hard. This time we're banking back the way we came. Gonna get a stall warning, but it's okay. Do you know what I'm thinking? Hey wingman, how you doing, friend? We're gonna line up. We're gonna line ourselves up for another pass through this building, and then we're gonna land at Dubai Airport. We're gonna shut down the Hornet, and then we'll call it there. Still a little bit of flying to go though. Let's position ourselves. Right, let's not muck it up. I think you could do this quite quickly if you judge it right. But I didn't want to crash. Here we go then, back through the arch. Let's go full afterburner. Absolutely incredible. And we're going to pull back on the throttle again. So nice, so nice. Now, I can't 100% remember. Sorry for all the movement in the cockpit there. Is that a runway there? No, that's not Dubai International. Should be over here somewhere. Let's check the map. Oh, we're actually... okay, that's fine. Well, there is a base here. We could land there, but I think we'll head to Dubai. Gives us a chance to have a little more of a look before we do prepare for landing. Let me just hold her there and trim her so she's level. I'm descending a little bit, but it's okay. Level her out. Amazing detail. There's Dubai International Airport by the looks of things. So we're going to cut back on the throttle a little bit. We're going to just start slowly descending. We can land from the left from this direction, it's all good. Taking in those sights once again. Obviously that amazing 6-star hotel just there. I wonder if you could land one of the helicopters in DCS on there. Might have to see if that's possible. But yeah, we took off on the... I'd love to be able to pronounce that the first map we were on, which is the native map in the game. We took off from the carrier there. We done some low level flying past Batumi Air Force Base, and then we practiced some carrier landings. First one we nailed, but it was really dodgy, but we did catch the wire.
Altitude.
Second one we missed.
Altitude.
Third one we missed. And the fourth one was probably the best one of all. But our wingman happened to be on the deck at the same time. He was turning just as we landed, that was the thing. He was almost clear of the deck. But unfortunately it wasn't to be. I did think about landing back on the carrier in the Persian Gulf, but we'd have to fly all the way back over to find the carrier. And as this is an instant action mission, I can't put a carrier on this side. So we're just going to land at Dubai International Airport, and that is going to close off our flight. So we're going to deploy the air brake, bleed off that airspeed, and we are going to go gear down. Obviously we don't need our hook down now. Now that we're bleeding some airspeed, we're going to retract the air brake. And first stage of flaps. Our gear is down, our flaps are down, we have a green light on all. So we're going to make our little turn towards the runway, give it a little bit of throttle. Because we don't want to stall. Imagine a Hornet landing in Dubai International Airport is not something you see every day. Managing that throttle. Now we're going to switch to flaps full. Trim that nose a little bit, there we go. Oh hey wingman. I don't want to crash into you here. We're going to just turn towards the runway and line ourselves up. Whoa, hey friend! Now we're going to throttle up there. Just managing that throttle, managing our descent. What's just happened there? Why did I suddenly lose throttle? The engine just cut back on me a lot there. I don't know what happened there. Try not to use the rudder too much. We don't want to skid off the runway. And we're going to tap the brakes in a second. Just using the rudder. Tapping the brakes now. She tried to slide away from me. You're not allowed to do that. I'm going to take advantage of this turning just back here. Use the high nose wheel steering to turn. And we're just going to follow this here. And there we go. Yeah, that would be awesome, Nip. I just need to grab a drink. There we go, we have landed at Dubai International Airport. So we're just going to find a little spot to park and we're going to shut the systems down. And that's going to be the end of our flight. Good to stream some more DCS World again. Good to have some fun in the Hornet again and practice some carrier landings again. Hello, Alex. We're just going to go around the back of this building. You can still see the monorail and everything like in the distance, which is really cool. And all the traffic. We're actually going really fast for taxiing here. Let me dab the brakes a little bit. Oh, number 4 ran out of fuel. So that's where all the airliners go. Obviously I'm not going to be picking any passengers. Because we're not picking up passengers. LOL. Anyway. We're just going to park over here out of the way. Not that there's any airliner traffic. And that is us. We've landed in Dubai. We've made it safely. We didn't crash into anyone this time. I think that's definitely a stream highlight for sure. Oh, there we go. Let's take a quick look outside. Pop open the canopy. And that's it. We are done and dusted. So the only thing left to do now is shut down the systems. And we can end it there. So we're going to switch off our digital displays. Turn the brightness down on that. Turn the brightness down on the HUD, which is off anyway. We're going to switch our radar to off. INS to off. They are returning to base. And even though we're going to shut off, set the flaps to auto, and we're going to switch off the left engine first.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Yeah, there's actually 2 Wildlands videos scheduled, Nip. One for this coming Wednesday and one for next Wednesday as well. Everything else should be off. Let's leave that back to auto. That's back to off. Everything else should be okay. We don't need to worry about flight controls now. Let's set the parking brake. Pull the pressure. I'll pull it out to increase the pressure. Reset the master caution. And we're done. Onboard oxygen will leave on, otherwise we'll pass out at the moment. And we're just going to shut down that right engine. You can hear those the last engine spooling down. I think once that RPM hits 0, there we go. Reset the master caution again. Both engines are off. Battery's off, and that's it. We are finished. Been quite an eventful stream. Obviously the carrier landings didn't go to plan, but hey, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's joined me for this funky little stream. But we're going to call an end there, guys and girls, because we now have Alex here. Don't want to leave you out, not leaving you out. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, guys and girls, once again. I don't know when I'll stream next. I don't really have a schedule as of yet. It just seems to be I'll stream whenever type sort of moment. But it was good to stream some more DCS again. Thank you so much for joining me, but I'll catch you next time. And until then, this is Liquid ejecting. Ah! Ow. Ow. Take care, stay safe. This is Liquid, signing off.
Brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super